Hi guys. Let's see. Yes, we're starting. Super excited. Hi everybody. You're all coming in right now. Happy Sunday, day, I don't know, gazillion of the quarantine. I just wanted to say hi, and I'm super excited to have today Belma, who's the founder of this amazing concept store here in London called Koibird. And if you know anything about Koibird, or if not, just me in general, I love living in color, although I'm in gray today. But generally, I absolutely love it. And her store is this concept store that constantly changes. So every season it has a fresh take, and I think it's just such an amazing experience, and so brightly decorated with all these fabulous new installations. And it's kind of like a fusion between art and fashion and lifestyle all together. So I am a big fan, and it's something unique here in London. If you're not here, when you do come, it's one of these places that I highly recommend that you see. Belma has just joined. Hi. And I just want to make sure, let's see if I can get in. There we go. And I think we're going live. Just turn my light back on because I need a little bit of light today. So hopefully in a second. Hi! Yay!
Yay! I did it!
How are you?
I was sure I'm going to screw this up. And not
you did perfectly. No screw up at all. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Look at you and your like beautiful, tiny little, summery outfit while I'm here in my jeans in freezing cold London. I went for a walk and it's just so cold. So,
yeah, I'm in Florida, so we're really lucky to be here and be in one place. But yeah, today's actually kind of overcast, so don't be too jealous.
My violin is very small.
I'm trying to adjust my videos so that it doesn't look like I'm in a nightgown, because I'm not.
I love this. I tried it on. For those of you who don't know, Belma's like a glamazon. She's like 6 feet tall and with a model figure. So literally, I'm
5'9", actually, really not that tall.
Really? It's just you're tall and thin. But I love that little outfit of yours. I was just telling everybody how I love your store and the concept behind it. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Koibird and how you ended up creating it?
Yeah, sure. So Koibird is now 2 years old. We can't believe it. And I mean, it really all started with, I have a background in finance. I worked, out of college, I worked for a hedge fund for 8-9 years. And then after that, I got married, I had my kids. And then the idea really started one summer. It was actually after a summer. I realized how much time I spent looking for bikinis that are different, that are unique, that are different kind of brands than what we're used to seeing on everyone and all the retailers in London and the UK. So it was a real passion to kind of search for all this summer wear. I love summer. I love beach holidays, whether it's summer. Yeah. So, and I traveled. I kind of got schooled in the US, lived in London, moved with my husband to Hong Kong. We traveled a lot. So, and that was my most kind of fun shopping time, was when I was shopping for those holidays. And that's when I really poured all my kind of time and passion, and I was really interested in finding the different brands, the brands from Brazil, the brands from Colombia, from Morocco, from, the more kind of under the radar Italian brands. So, and that formed my holiday wardrobe, and it was kind of a no-brainer to me. It was easy. I loved it. It's like watching Netflix to me, And then I came back from a summer holiday thinking, and I say this story. I mean this in a good way, and thinking kind of, I have all these amazingly gorgeous friends who travel, who go to all these places, who shop and curate their wardrobes. But there's not that much to find. Mostly people are wearing Eras, or nothing wrong with Eras.
Same.
Nothing wrong with it. But a lot of the same kind of more safe and brands that are more available, because not everybody has the time to be searching and finding and enjoying it like I do. And then I just thought, I've got all these beautiful friends in kind of samey conservative swimwear. So I came back and here's my kind of summer wardrobe with the pinks and the feathers and the this and the that.
I love that. You give it a lot of personality. I think that's what's so nice. Like you said, even if you have time, you don't even know where to look because the internet,
Right.
I mean, now shopping has changed a lot too, so not everything is like an in-store experience, but you've made it a destination sort of place too. You make it fun to want to go shopping, and then you do have all these great brands. I remember the first time I went in, I was like, oh my God, I want it all, it's just perfect for, it was a summer edit, and I love the colors. I mean, you always are so beautifully in color, and I think that's, especially now, I feel like that's a sort of a change. I notice people on Instagram saying, I'm so sick of my black and my navy and my gray, and I'm like, yes, live in color.
Or even the beige and the neutral. I know it's been really trendy for the last couple of seasons, the whole beige and the neutral, and we've embraced
patterns
a little bit too, but
I mean, like everything, and actually being able to curate that. Well, one, you have a great eye, and obviously, if someone can bring that eye and curate it for you, it's always so much nicer than having to try and figure it out yourself if you're not so inclined, basically. But and now this is is it your second or third? No, it's your third edit.
It's actually our fifth.
Fifth! Oh my God!
So the kind of point of the brand was to explore these different themes and these different destinations and curate the whole season in that destination's theme. Because what we do is we also go to Korea and to Seoul Fashion Week, and we find all the designers that we like there, and we bring it back. The idea is really to show people something new, to have it be almost like a gallery space for fashion. It's a real immersive experience for fashion, for lifestyle, and just to inspire people, to just show them something new, whether or not you like it or you buy it or it's you or not you, and it doesn't matter. Sure. I think to us it's more just kind of broaden people's horizons of different brands, show them what's out there, and show them how to be fearless, be bold, be really and that's, I think, right now what's important. I think a message that's important to be said, especially when it comes to being in fashion industry, which is not the most kind of important thing to be thinking about right now. But what it can provide, I think, for us is this inspiration, is this self-expression. It is a little bit of fun that we need, and that is what fashion is there for. It's not for black pants and for beige pants and for a white t-shirt. It is, and it is, and that has its place, obviously, in all
There's
our
obviously
lives.
Functionality, but
there's obviously functionality, but really Koibird and even me and my own dressing is just a little bit of an escape, a little bit of a self-expression on how I feel on that day. I talk to my team about this a lot, and I say, look, I don't know if there are any men listening, but when I'm on my period, I wear black.
Okay, so, good to know.
So it is about how you feel, dressing your mood. How do you feel that day? What's your vibe? What do you want to portray to the world today? And that's what fashion is, and that's what you put on yourself to kind of. It's the only form of communication that's not verbal, and that's why we dress. That's why we.
I wanted to ask you, does Koibird mean anything? Because I always wondered where you got that name.
We know it means it's a koi fish, and it's a hybrid of a koi fish and a bird. It's okay. It's meant to represent this kind of exotic hybrid creature that travels the world and finds all these goodies and brings them back home to us, and this little bit of mystery and mythical kind of creature that just kind of above us all.
And the thing, I mean, I'm a big fan, and so I mean, one of the things that I kind of like is that it, now. I mean, sadly, I don't go into stores very often. I mean, I don't normally have so much time to do that. And now if I did have time, there's no place to go. But I always think that it's nice to be able to see different things. So one of my, I think what the nice thing about social media and the world of the internet is really that you have the exposure to learn about so many different things and see other, designers, and you've actually been sort of like somebody who stands behind all these young, new, emerging. You have obviously like a lot of traditional, designers that people would have heard of, but some of them I feel are like very niche and very specific to, I don't know, Colombia or Korea or wherever it is that your new special area is. But I think that's also really nice too, because it's always nice to have something that not everybody else is sort of wearing too.
Yeah, and that's a big thing for us. That is a big way. The big way kind of we think about the buy each season. It is about introducing people to new brands, to new ways of wearing things, even if it is brands that and that other people carry as well. But for example, this season we went to, in October we went to Lagos Fashion Week. So we have this whole kind of array of designers from Nigeria as well as a few other African countries like Ghana and South Africa. But I find it pretty exciting. I basically created the store in terms of in terms of what would I want from a store. And I've traveled around and I've shopped so much and I've been to all the stores, and for me it's it's special to have a store like this, to be able to go and discover all these things. Where would I be able to find a really cool new up and coming Nigerian designer that is super talented and that uses, and what's also amazing about that whole region is how much it is about slow fashion and how sustainable they really are and how they do make everything on order on land, and employ all the communities around them. So there is that story as well, which is really remarkable. But just showing people other designers and not being stuck in your kind of 5-6 brands that you buy every season. It's really about experimenting, discovery, and uniqueness is a big kind of ethos of Koi Bird. So. And
what do you think now? I mean, like in beauty right now with with COVID and quarantine, is I think a lot of people are spending a lot of time on themselves, a lot of time on loungewear, a lot of time for self-reflection. It's stressful for so many people for lots of different reasons, but at the same time, it gives them, I haven't had a time to edit my closet in forever, and I did that like in my first week of quarantine.
Yeah, I saw that.
Everything. Yeah. It was so...
Can I ask what you do with the clothes if you're like trying to give them away or?
Yeah. So now I realize that one of my big things is I'm going to try and buy things that only make me happy and really have less functionality, because I feel like I already have all the functional things in my closet. There's only so many black trousers I can have, so many, I like living in color. It makes me happy, especially living in gray London. But for the things that I don't want, I tend to like the things that I buy. So like a lot of my dresses, I still keep them and I wear them. I might not wear them 1 year, but I'll bring them out 2 years later, 3 years later. I try to buy well and things that I truly actually feel good in. And so there's a lot of times that, for instance, when I'm looking at something, and same with like skincare and beauty, is that I try to buy something that I want to be able to wear, but then it's not really me, and then I never either wear it. So with clothing, there's some things that I love, but they just don't suit my body type. I buy them thinking, oh my God, I'm going to figure out how to accessorize this and wear it. Or even like a red lipstick. I love red lipstick on other people. I can't wear it. I wear it and I feel like I look like, I'm a prostitute. So like, it's just never going to happen for me. But I'm trying not to make those purchases and make more. One, I do think it makes a difference where it's come from and how it's been made in terms of sustainability. And the second is that I don't want to be giving away so much stuff that has been like, cost per wear is quite high, that kind of thing. But I have 2 brothers and a sister, and I'm the eldest. And so we all have similar body types. And so if I've grown out of something, my sister-in-law is super skinny, and I use her as like super baggy.
Oh, that's great.
So it's great. So she's always very happy, and I keep my clothes really nicely, maintained. So it's not like I'm, hand-me-downs or anything. But I do that, and then I do sometimes I either give them to, different charities that are for women that are trying to get back into the working community. And if I'm making a trip, I'm Iranian originally, but if I'm going to the Middle East for any reason, I usually take it there because, I mean, the less, they need so much stuff of anything. They just don't have anything. So I take some of it there as well. So I try to, like, divvy it up. And I do that even with my kids' clothing, too, because they grow like weeds, like sometimes I'm sad to say, they might not even wear anything more than once. And then
I know.
And then boom, it's like they've outgrown it, or it's the wrong season, or it never got sunny in London, so they never got to wear it.
Yeah.
So, those type of things. What do you do? Because your wardrobe, is insane.
I hoard. I don't give anything away. No, I think similar. I don't have anyone really to pass it down to, but I do. As you said, some of the charities like Women for Women or SmartWorks is a really good one for more professional clothing, because the women get to reuse it and wear it when they're interviewing to get a job. So that's a really great one as well. But no, in all seriousness, I do hoard a lot. It's bad. The thing is, the stuff that I didn't keep, I said this great vintage stuff from 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Now I really regret selling it or giving it away or selling it for like $50. So the good stuff, the good stuff I'll keep. Kids clothes I do hand down. I also keep saving in case I have another one.
Yeah. I have so many boxes of those. I was probably go and get rid of that. Yeah. I'm a little too old to think about that anymore, but I used to do the same. What do you think is going to happen now with fashion? And I feel kind of split. So in one hand, we've always tried to recycle and do our part however we can, and in that kind of sense. But I think in the now, people were against wipes, and now everybody's got hand wipes, and all of this plastic gloves, latex gloves, the masks that people are wearing, and I feel like that's going to be mainstream for probably a year. I mean, maybe less, hopefully less, but I think that's kind of what's going to happen. And I think that clothing too, just with all the manufacturers being shut for so long, and all these seasons, you have resort, you have cruise, you have for all the normal seasons, there's so many different avenues. Do you think it's going to become more streamlined? Do you think it's going to be?
Yeah, I know us as a business, but also some showrooms and designers as well are all pushing for kind of coming up with a model where you're buying that season. I mean, it got so crazy with the multiple seasons throughout the year, then retailers marking it down early. You basically have all these brands making all these clothes, trying to satisfy the demand that both consumers and retailers have, this huge insatiable demand of more, so I can post it on my Instagram, more clothes. And yeah, I think there's a real push. A, the brands just won't be able to produce that much, certainly not for a little while.
Yeah.
And B, it's, we're all pushing, I know there's another showroom in London, and we're all really pushing for buy in season, shop in season. You don't mark down summer at the beginning of May. I know it's a good thing for consumers, I suppose, but you shouldn't anyway. Honestly, you shouldn't be buying something because it's on sale. You should buy it because you really love it and you really want it. Just buy the one thing that's going to make you happy. Like you said, I'm really glad you said that, because that's really the mentality that we try to push. I know, obviously buying less, buying better, buying more sustainable is the way the world's going, and we all should be doing that. But I do still think there's a place, for example, for some crazy pieces in koi-bird in people's wardrobes, because that gives you the happiness, the va-va-voom, the something else. It's not just about buying an extra garment of clothing. So I think that will still stay. I still think people will have a need to make themselves feel happy and make themselves, put on this different persona, a pink persona for the day or whatever. But really, selling that season, having the season really go fully through, sell and buy within that season will help a lot of people out, a lot of brands out, a lot of mostly brands, because they just cannot they cannot manage to meet the demand every 2 months, and especially now. But honestly, it's also the consumer that has created that. Think about how many times, the way you shop, let's say online, how many times are you just going new in?
Yeah.
Because we just all have this just insatiable demand for just newness, and nobody can really meet that.
No, actually, that's a really good point. It's our mentality is all I want it yesterday. It's never. People don't like to wait anymore. And they'd rather something they know and they can see immediately than waiting for that thing that really makes their heart nervous. I forgot, who's the woman who does all the organization in closets, and she says if it doesn't bring you joy, you need to get rid of it. I actually think,
but yeah, I mean,
it is really true in that sense. I read in WWD that they were saying that people are going to become more casual now. And I was like, they're going to start wearing sweatpants everywhere, and
I'm not sure.
I think we should have the opposite.
I wear a lot of sweats at home. I like to be really baggy and comfy because I'm working or I'm playing with my kids or loose dresses. But I'm not sure that will translate into. I mean, I think people still want to feel good and look good and
I can't wait to get dressed up and go anywhere. I mean, I don't even care where. I just want to do my hair.
I have to say, that's one thing. I remember when I first came to visit you at your clinic, and I thought it was a recommendation from a friend. Oh, you have to go to Dr. Zamani. She's the best in London, because I'm always complaining about, oh my God.
Yeah, your beautiful complexion. Yeah.
It is. I don't all my I'm going to ask you about that in a second. And I remember walking in, and you had this I think you had a black top, but you had this Proenza skirt.
That has little balls on the end.
With the little balls.
It makes me happy, that skirt.
And you had these little cute, I think pointy flats. Yeah. And I thought, okay, and obviously you look beautiful. You know how many people are like, oh my God, we cannot go to a dermatologist that looks like a freak.
There's a lot of people who start to look weird.
So yes, I remember going in and being like, oh, she's chic. I can go to her.
That's a huge compliment coming from you. I mean, really.
No, honestly, it is really rare to have somebody smart and accomplished and a doctor and be a beautiful, stylish woman. And do you think that, I mean, is that something, you just, obviously that's you and that's how you dress. Do you feel like it gives you some kind of an edge at work, or do you feel
I think the one thing, also because I'm Middle Eastern, I think women and although I grew up in the States my whole life until I moved to London, so it's not like I'm really Middle Eastern, Iranian or anything, but I think the one thing that Iranian women, for instance, they take a lot of pride in how they look, and so, my mother, for instance, even if we were at home, she always had red lipstick on. I mean, it was just, if I saw her without red lipstick, I was like, Mom, is everything okay? It was just one of those things that it was part of who she was, and I think it really, if you respect yourself, and respect is in a lot of ways. It's like how other people see you is also how is also self-respect too. So if you respect yourself, you do good things for yourself, you exercise, you eat well, you do all of these other things, you kind of want to look your best too, and however that makes you happy. If sweats make you happy, then that's the thing that you can wear, and you can, that's you, that you can own that, but for me, I like to be comfortable. I think before I used to wear heels all the time. I mean, there was no time of the day day that I didn't wear heels. And now that I'm in my mid-40s, I still love wearing heels. I mean, I have more heels than I have flats for sure, but I wear a lot of flat shoes, and like but I still want it to look like I am presentable. You know, I wouldn't want to be embarrassed if I don't know, if somebody walked in, or I just think it's an important reflection of yourself too. So I think clothing and dressing and skincare, all of that is all a big package for yourself, and it's how it makes you feel. You know, if you wake up and your skin looks good, you feel better about yourself. If you wake up and if you're kind of not feeling great, you put on a bright pink outfit, or you know, like you put on that dress that makes you happy, well, that changes your whole outlook for the day. So, you know, it can really affect you internally as well as like how other people see you. And if you're happier, you tend to smile more, your face is brighter, you know, like it's like this whole big package. So I always feel that, you know, a lot of people come to me to have things done, to sort of tweak themselves. I have a lot of women who are going through breakups or divorces or change of job, or they feel they need a little boost. And I get that, you know, like I understand, you know, sometimes you need a little something to make you feel really good, to give you that confidence again. And I think clothing can do that, absolutely. If you feel great in what you're wearing and you own it and you're like, you know, and it just makes you feel like a stronger, better person. So I do think it's everything together. So I don't think of it as frivolous at all. I think there are some people who don't care, and that's okay too. That's their persona and that's how they are. But I think if you do care, I love seeing, you know, people look beautiful. I just love to see them walk into my office or on the street or at a dinner. You know, it gives you joy to look at something that looks nice, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole package, because even if you're wearing the nicest outfit, but your skin looks dull and you have bags under your eyes, you're not going to be feeling that great. So it is definitely. And don't you think how much of kind of taking care of yourself as a full package do you feel like is cultural? I really feel like it's really cultural.
I think it is. I mean, I really do think it is. I think it's all how you've been brought up. But I think now, because of social media and because of like the fact that we now also have a lot of time to look into other things, but I think it is very cultural, and some people care about it more than others. I remember when I moved to London, I couldn't find a manicurist. Like I grew up in the States having a manicure like every week, and it wasn't really like a luxury. It was kind of, you know, everybody just does that. You know, and then I came to London and it was, you know, £200 for a manicure pedicure. And oh my God, this is crazy. You know, like So I do think part of it is cultural. I think things are moving in that direction. Some for the good and some for the bad. I think some of the things that are bad from social media is that, you know, like you said, that newness, it's almost like, oh my God, I've been photographed in that. I can't wear that again because, like, you know, I put it on like I've heard people say that I can't put it on again.
Oh, for sure.
I think on Instagram or
my life
on social media. So
for sure. And I actually think people are just I think people shop more just to have more outfits for social media.
I know.
Like not even to wear and go out. It's just they like more and more outfits so that they can build this social media persona, which is
I know.
Really
I mean, sometimes I see people on the streets, I swear to God, they have a bag of clothes, they have someone with a photographer behind them, and they're like changing on the streets to be in front of this house or that car or this flower or you know, whatever it is. And I'm thinking, gosh, but that's how content is created. And so sometimes I think in that sense, I think it's sort of not good. That's where the negativity comes in. But I think definitely culturally it is important. And I'm trying to, I too, you don't want to wear the same thing like 20 times, of course. You want to give it a break and then come back to it sometimes. But I think it's nice to have things that like you want to wear every day. You know, like some of the things when I buy something I really like, I'm like, oh, I wish I could just wear it every day. You know, like it just makes me sort of happy. So but that's definitely something that's also for skincare. I mean, I think a lot of people also create a lot of content because they want to show what they're doing. But I don't necessarily think more is more, you know. I love all your accessories, and I feel like skincare is sort of like an accessory too. You know, if you have great skin, that's an accessory, just like a great pair of sunglasses or funky earrings or sunglasses or whatever. You can really change how things look just by changing the canvas just a little bit, not so much.
Oh yeah, and even in sweats, even if you're in sweats and you're going out quickly to the grocery store but putting on a cool pair of sunglasses or
one of your hats or
yeah,
and a bag or all of the above together.
But what I have actually noticed, speaking of skin, I'm now going to grill you a little bit. What I've noticed, so before we came to Florida for the, we actually got out just as the borders in the U.S. were closing. And but we also, we had to be in the U.S. also for my husband's job. So before we came out, I was in London, I was working, I was going through some stress with my kids, and I just kept saying, oh God, my skin, honestly, within the last year, the amount of congestion, pigmentation, breakouts, I never used to have breakouts. And I was just really annoyed. I was not eating that great either. And I was just really, really annoyed. It's like, what's happening to my skin that's usually, not breaking out? It's pretty good complexion. And I've always had a bit of hyperpigmentation. But, and I have to say the rest here, the not a crazy schedule. I said in one of my posts earlier, yes, Monday to Friday, we keep pretty busy. Like I have this whole kind of homeschool plan with my kids, and then homeschool from this time to this time, then lunch, then work in the afternoon, then also a little bit at night, or just mix it all up. So it is busy, but obviously nothing like
different busy,
and like our old lives in London. And I swear my skin has cleared up just from that.
We don't realize how much stress we're in. I mean, even
blackheads. I didn't realize. I understand that breaking out can clear up from not being stressed and being inflamed, but just even blackheads. My pores were big. There was just blackheads everywhere, and I haven't really done anything different. I've used a little bit more of an exfoliator, but I haven't really done anything different. And it's much better. It's amazing.
You have no idea how much stress plays a really big role. So even when you don't think you're stressed, you increase in this hormone called cortisol. And, if you're worried, you're running around, if you're tired, if you're not getting enough sleep, all of those things can aggravate that. And even your circadian rhythm, if you're not getting enough, beauty sleep is a real thing. If you're not getting enough of it, what happens is that your body doesn't have that time to relax. And so you're creating more oil, which creates more congestion, which creates blackheads, which then also contribute to potentially having outbreaks of acne. So, slowing down, the quarantine,
it's a real,
slowing down really, it changes your pace of life. And, I think in London, especially, we don't necessarily know that we don't have a change, we're used to being busy because everybody is busy and everybody has a million things to do. They have their kids, they have their work, they have their social, they have their travels. Every 6 to 8 weeks there's a holiday, so there's a lot going on in, big spurts of time. And so I think now that you've had the time to just sort of, you have a routine, it's a different routine. It might be busy, but it's still not at the same level because
not at all.
You're not leaving your house, so
very little. I think the happiest thing about this quarantine situation has been not having to jump out in the morning, out of your bed, get the kids ready. I hate drop off. I hope no teachers.
I hate drop off too. I know. I hate drop off too. I was telling my friend last night. I said, this is the thing I'm going to miss the most. Is that if I didn't have children, I don't think I would ever start my day as early as I do normally. I would always wait until 8:30, and then I would start my day normally. Then waking up at 6:30, 7. That's just not for me. I don't like it.
Just that difference alone makes
it's huge.
It's huge.
It's huge. So what are you using on your skin right now? What do you wear for sun protection? I mean, because you're in sunny Florida.
I know. I was like, oh.
But you're good. I see you with the sunglasses and you wear the hat.
I'm actually really bad on my body. I am bad, and I have this friend who gets these. I have so much pigmentation on my chest. I grew up in Croatia. I'm just a sun-loving person. It's bad, I know. But my face, I do protect. I am, and I was listening to your video that you posted a few days ago about how SPF 50 goes on no matter if it's snowing, raining, cloudy. And that's something I learned, I don't know, maybe from a esthetician or something a few years, many years ago actually. And since then, honestly, I am always a 50 or a 70 on my face. That's why I usually do look like a ghost and I have a nice color everywhere else. But having said that, I'm not one of those people that's always swimming with a cap and that's all, I have a visor when I'm out, but I
No, you're very good. I mean, you wear the big sunglasses, you have a hat on.
I have the visor a lot and the hat.
Yeah.
But I have gotten, it's become really bad this year. A lot of pigmentation here. I was also listening to you talking about, and I've been so bad because I've been breaking out so much. I've been,
Don't touch anything.
I mean, this one alone is just from a week ago. It was just a zit. And look, actually more than a week ago. And it's not going away.
I know. Well, that's the problem. You can't really pick. I'm so sorry. It got super bright in my routine. I feel like I need visor in here.
My light got really dark. Yeah.
But basically, I mean, SPF is really good. You know what's really nice if you feel like you have congestion is actually HelioCare, but in terms of like making sure that you have an SPF on, because it comes in a gel form and it's really nice. But in general, because you're in a sunny environment, you really have to protect your skin, and you need to have
using this.
Yeah, that's great.
I just lather and lather and lather.
The HelioCare is a little nicer because it has a nice tint, so it won't make you look so white.
I don't like the tint because then when I'm changing or whatever, it just rubs off.
Rubs off. Oh, well, there you go. So you're the opposite.
I'm a pretty practical user. I'm a because I'm swimming. I'm in and out. I'm swimming. I suppose if I was just lounging or and also no reason to look good here. Nobody's here. It's just me.
No, you always look good, even when
no reason to have a tint. Just, but yeah. So so the other thing that might have helped is I used to use it a few years ago, and then I stopped the Floritin.
The vitamins, that's what I was going to say. So vitamin C is really critical to, one, decreasing oxidative damage. So that means whenever you have the UV lights, you have UVA, UVB, and you also have blue light from all the screen time, from your phone and your computer, your iPad, all this stuff. So basically that causes damage to the cells within the body because they release free radicals that are kind of roaming around. And so antioxidants go and kind of gobble up. Think of the free radical is like a Pac-Man, and then the Pac-Man is the antioxidant that comes and kills that free radical. So vitamin C is really crucial. I would recommend using that morning and night, every single day. The first thing you put on after you wash your face in the morning. I like the SkinCeuticals one. Of course, I like my own better, which is
I actually have it here. I told you the other day I was trying to find them here. Yeah, is that the Brighten?
I'll send you some. Yeah, it's the Brighten Perfect. And it's really great because I think everybody, unless you have very sensitive skin, should be using a vitamin C every single day. I mean, I always say there are 3 ingredients everybody needs. One is vitamin C, one is a retinol, and the other is an SPF. Yes, yay! So actually, if you use that at night, put a couple drops on and put it all over your face, your neck, your chest. Use it.
And it's okay with sun exposure the next day because obviously I'm wearing, I have protection on, but still I'm out in the sun.
Yes.
So does that matter?
So this is where it's important. The education is important. So yes, what retinol does, it's vitamin A. It's a topical vitamin A, and basically what it does is it increases cell turnover, so it stimulates collagen production. In doing that, you can get, if you use it too frequently or too much of it at any given time, you can get flakiness and dryness to the skin. When your skin is creating new skin, and then all of a sudden you have sun exposure, you could potentially burn that new tender skin. So that's why the SPF is really important. But I always use it all year round, and I say use it twice, in the summer, or if you're in the sun right now, and definitely since you're just starting it, use it twice a week, and then slowly increase it to every other day. And then in the fall again, when you're back to your normal routine and less sun exposure, you can use it every night. But actually, the new studies have found that people who use a retinol have much less erythema and inflammation due from the sun and from UV exposure. So I think we're going to find that more and more retinol is going to become total mainstream and really important in everybody's skincare routine. And hopefully the education, because people say, oh my God, can you go into the sun with vitamin C and retinol? And absolutely you can. Vitamin C you should put on before you put anything else on in the morning anyway. So yes, I really, really do think those are.
And how does yours, because yours says it's 2% encapsulated vitamin A, so 2% of pure retinol, I think considered high.
So vitamin A comes in different ways, and the retinol versus retinoid versus a tretinoin. And tretinoin is like the prescription strength. So that's like what you hear in Retin-A in the US.
And they start you on a really
0.025, yeah, exactly. And then you can increase it to 0.05 and those types of things. And then the ones that are over the counter, like mine, or different brands, they're usually a retinoid or a retinol, and that means that there's like an extra process they have to go through once they hit your skin to be translated into that active, vitamin A active, that can then improve your skin quality. I tend to recommend people to use encapsulated products because it's like kind of a vector. So the vitamin C or the vitamin A, whichever product you're using, goes into the skin and gets absorbed without causing so many of the downside effects from it. So hopefully in using an encapsulated formula, then you'll have less irritation, you'll have less, if any, flakiness. And I put it in an oil so that it's hydrating, and so you can feel that.
Yeah, I tried it. It's really nice. Yeah.
Sometimes you can have that too. And I think, in younger people, you can even use it for breakouts. Like, so retinol was originally used for people who had acne, and then we saw that people who used it, if they continued to use it for years on end, they had less lines and wrinkles than somebody who didn't use it. And then that's how we realized, that was the beginning of all the studies on wrinkles and pigmentation. It'll decrease like the little pigmentation you have from your spot. And hopefully
spot. Look at this. Look at all this. Not one spot.
We can laser that off.
I've put a little bit of tinted moisturizer too, just to not look like
No, I mean, it's very faint. It's not that bad, but you obviously want to prevent. Prevention is the most important. The vitamin C, the retinol, and the SPF is like the best thing you can do.
But I also heard that, sorry, just to quickly interrupt on the pigmentation, I also heard that the pigmentation that kind of comes out now is stuff you've incurred 10 years ago.
So remember, your skin has memory. It sucks, this memory. It's like gray hair. Once you have a gray hair somewhere, you're always going to have a gray hair, no matter how much you dye it or fix it.
Or pluck it.
Yeah, well, don't pluck it.
Don't pluck it. No, I don't pluck it. I don't have gray hair.
Well, you don't have any. Your roots are showing.
I haven't looked at
gray in those roots. So no, what happens is that pigmentation is basically formed by melanin, which is in the lower layers of the skin, and you can do things to get rid of them. And in order to really, you can treat them to make them go away for extended periods of time, and sometimes indefinitely. But what happens is that it takes a long time. So any skincare product that you use to lighten or brighten, you remember a skin cycle takes a minimum of 6 weeks for one skin cycle to happen, and you have like anywhere between 8 and 10 layers of skin that you would have to do. So it's almost like more than a year for you to get rid of everything from the bottom to the top. But if you don't get rid of all that memory, then yes, it comes back again, and it is cumulative. So you've caused a little bit of damage over time, and it didn't show up for the first 10 years, and then slowly, the more cumulative damage you get, the more you're going to see it. So,
and then with hormones, definitely, if your hormones are messed up, it just comes out even more.
Birth control, pregnancy, all of that fun stuff, that all can wreak havoc. I mean, like stress also, can create different levels. The computer screens are really bad. So you don't have melasma, but melasma can happen too, and that's like, it can accentuate your pigmentation. Some creams can also do that, like self-tanning creams. I don't love using self-tanning creams on the face.
Yeah, me too.
It makes the dark areas, you almost are dirty because it makes the dark areas
dark. Oh my God, totally. I was just gonna say that. I know obviously it's better for you, but I'd rather just have a white face and a tan body.
I'd rather use like a bronzer. I mean, like I love the bronzer. That's all I ever use. But like I can't put. I would love to, because the only thing that I care about is my face to be have a little color. But the minute I put that on, I'm like, oh my God, I have more pigment than I had without this on.
And it like gets into your pores, and you do look dirty.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. And as you said, exfoliation and like a nice cleanse is really nice too. Especially if
how do you feel about that? Because people have differing opinions about exfoliation. You ask certain people, and professionals, and they're all about, don't do anything abrasive, don't do like any kind of hard
I agree with
exfoliants. Just do kind of light AHA or peels, or just light exfoliation more often than the scrubs. And then obviously in the States now, I've been seeing everywhere this Dermaflash. I was going to ask you about that.
Oh yeah,
like all the rage.
So actually, I haven't tried it.
Sure,
I haven't tried it, but I like it. So I do. But
isn't that just bad to be shaving off layers of your face? People really love it.
I'm gonna let me say both of them. So for exfoliation, I don't like things that have beads in them. Anyway, the world is changing away from beads because we know it's bad for the environment, and so they're being phased out. So most of those won't be around. I don't even like the scrubs where you can feel it in your hand. That's super rough. Unless it's like for your body. I don't think it's so bad for the body. I actually just from Koibird got this coconut one that I really like.
Yes.
I did that one for my body the other day. But for the face, I think using a gentle, basically like light acids are a really nice way, because I think most people are really abrasive with their skin and they create inflammation, micro-inflammation, and basically it's counterproductive for the skin. Instead of, getting off the dead skin, the pollution, the debris that's sitting there, it's actually creating injury and causing you to have an inflammatory response, which is the negative of what you want. So I love AHA cleansers and exfoliators, and I would recommend doing that like maybe twice a week, leaving it on as a mask or something, and then you get like a nice cleanse and a deep exfoliation without being abrasive and without stripping away the natural oils of the skin. So what you don't want to do is like be too aggressive and then feel tight. If you're feeling tight after cleaning, you've taken away all the lovely oils that need to sit on your face. So that's like a no-go in that sense. Now, dermaplaning is interesting because that's basically like, I always think of it like, when a man goes and gets like a shave or like, has like one of these. So it's basically, there are different models of it, but it's basically a large blade. And the idea behind it, it's not for hair. It's mainly for the skin. So most people have a very little amount of peach fuzz, but it basically takes off the top layer very gently. I think I've never used one on myself. I did actually order one over this period. It didn't come. I ordered like a week and a half ago or something because I wanted to try it. I have tried like just to see what it's like. And basically, if you have any peach fuzz and you have a little bit of debris and exfoliation that you need to have done, it does lift everything off. And it makes your skin look brighter because you don't realize, even if you have blonde peach fuzz, if you have no peach fuzz, your skin just looks a little bit more radiant just because you've gotten rid of like a little bit of skin. But you can't use it very often. Like I wouldn't use that more than once a week, for instance. And
I'm just worried I'm going to start like growing out a beard.
Well, you won't grow out a beard. So this is a misnomer. So a lot of people think like if you shave, your hair is going to come out thicker and darker. Usually the thicker and darker happens because it's hormonally regulated. And for instance, like a kid when they're 13 and is just going through puberty, a boy, he has like wispy, fine hairs. And as he gets older, it's not the shaving that makes it thicker. It's just the fact that now he's older and those hair follicles are more mature. And that's the tendency of that skin in that area. So, you're not going to make it thicker. I do think sometimes plucking makes them a little bit more resilient. So if you have facial hair, that's why they say if you have any hair on your body and you want a laser, it's better to shave than it is to
because it gets coarser
or wax. Yeah, because that makes the root of the hair stronger. So here you're not touching the root at all. It's all like above the skin. So you won't make it, you may notice that a little bit more because once you've done something, then the next time it comes back, you're like, oh my God, I didn't have this before and now I have it, and like, but it shouldn't make it thicker at all.
Okay, so you're up for trying it. You don't think it's harmful if you don't use it too much?
No, I would start off like, I wouldn't do it more than once a week.
Yeah.
But a lot of people like it, and Middle Eastern people love it because it does at the same time get a little bit of hair. I mean, obviously you can't use it on places like
your mustache,
the lips, or I wouldn't use it like close to the eyes or the eyelids, but on the face.
Sorry, you said you wouldn't use it on the little mustache part?
No, you can use it here, but not on the pink lip. So you can use it, this is called the white lip, you can use it on the white lip. Like anywhere that you might have hair, but nowhere where you wouldn't have hair. So most people don't have hair here. Like on those areas, I wouldn't do it. But yes, I want you to tell me what you think of it once you've done it.
Have you gotten it faster first? I guess I'll get it faster than you. Did you order it from the States?
I did order it from the States, yeah. Okay. You'll probably get it before me.
I'll get it faster. And I want to ask you about these glow-boosting ampoules.
Oh, yeah, yes, I love them.
So, well, first of all, the biggest question is, Are they meant to be all the way to the top, or
No. That's
okay,
where they break
did somebody
off from.
use this?
No.
I just got
Well,
done.
yeah, and then put it back on. So no, so I have mine here too. So this is actually a lot of serum, and that white line right here is where it breaks open. So, so basically you have this top, and then you.
But look, some of them are higher than others. Is that normal?
Yeah, it's normal. It's a matter of the concentration. So basically, because you can't have too much different acids, there's only so much you can put in an ampule for safety regulations, because it's more for the dosage that you can use on the face.
I'm such a cynic. I was like, God, somebody used this and sold it to me after.
No. Yes.
So tell me about them. I'm so interested to try this.
So this is basically a 5-day regimen. You wash your face, you break open the first capsule, and then you put it all over your face. There's actually a lot of fluid in these little ampules, so you're going to have a lot more than just your face. You put it on your neck, put it on your chest, and if you still have anything open, then you put it on the body. So see, when you break it open, I actually broke one open, it goes where that line is. So that's where it breaks open.
How did you break it? You literally just did it with your finger?
No, so I use this, so you put this little plastic on top, and then you just it open.
Okay.
It comes off.
Okay, so you've got the AM and PM. Okay.
Yes. And then it's a combination of different acids. So it's basically lactic acid, glycolic acid, ascorbic acid, vitamin C, and then a meso cocktail. And so
I know that's what sold me, the meso cocktail word.
The cocktail.
Cocktail.
The cocktail or the meso?
Yeah.
Skin cocktail, basically.
Yeah.
So if you use it for 5 days, so you break it open, you put the first capsule on, and then you can put your normal skincare and makeup on and like go on your normal day. And then the same thing at nighttime. You wash it off, and then you put this. You break one of these capsules open, you put it on, and anything else you want to place on at nighttime. And after the 5 days, you really do have beautiful skin. So it's hydrating, it's nourishing, and it helps with pigmentation. It's actually you should try it right now while you have like 5 days to yourself. I think I created it mainly for people to have something to do in the comfort of their own home, and to be able to do it instead of coming to the doctor's office. So instead of being able, not everybody has time during the working hours to come in and have like a nice little tweak or something. And so this really mimics that for like a special occasion, a party, or you just want to give your skin like a little reboot. It's really nice to do. And just remember, you need to wear sunscreen. But there's a lot of solution in them. So the lines, the amount in them is the maximum amount that we can kind of put for safety reasons.
And then after, I can just put on your Hydrate and Nourish, which I really like a lot.
Yes, which is SPF and everything like that too. And actually, all of these things together, you just have to remember that when you do skincare, like I said before, you have to give your skin like 6 to 8 weeks to start seeing a difference in how your skin looks. It's kind of like exercise. You start working out, you don't see the results, and then slowly things start to change. It doesn't happen all at once. Sometimes the only caveat is if you do have like acne and you start using like a retinol, you can see an improvement kind of quickly. So
And do you believe, obviously you have your own line, but maybe controversial question, but do you believe that people should take a break from kind of, let's say, from products like, let's say you use one kind of line of product and you do their whole regimen for
you take a
whatever.
holiday.
Do you take a holiday from it and change it up and then go back to it, or is that kind of a myth?
No, I think it's kind of like I think it's different than like say hair, which is like dead by the time it like comes out or something like that. Your skin is constantly replenishing.
Mine's really dead right now.
No, well, like you can put products to soothe it, but in order to have healthy hair, it's whatever's coming out of the roots. So it's like whatever you're internalizing at the time. But for skincare, I think it's not important necessarily to do that. It's okay to, I always think people find things they really love and then they stick to it. And so they might take something from this line and something from there. And I think that's okay as long as you have like a good routine where you're doing, my ethos is to reveal, enhance, and protect. So you need to have a good cleanse. You need to exfoliate once or twice a week. And then I do think you need some really important good ingredients like a vitamin C, vitamin E, obviously different kinds of ceratides or ceramides or peptides or hyaluronic acid, different things that can lock in hydration. And then you need your SPF and a retinol. And, if you need to mix and match, that's okay too. Obviously, the more you use like an active, like a retinol, you're using 2% with this one, for instance, well, your skin, if you may decide that you want to boost that up and go on to a prescription strength later on, so to get like an additive effect. And I do think that, the amounts that are in skincare, as you get older, you need a little bit more help than when you're younger, because obviously your skin is replenishing itself so much faster. So I think that's...
I just saw that somebody asked if this product is okay if the retinol product is okay for sensitive skin.
Yes, so sensitive skin you have to be careful with. If you ever try any actives on, you have to make sure that you do them one at a time. So if you're going to start a vitamin C, don't start it at the same time as the retinol, and start the vitamin C maybe twice a week. I always say start off twice a week, use it for 2 or 3 weeks, and if you don't have any problems, then increase it a day a week. So the next week you use it 3 times a week, the week after use it 4 times a week, and so on and so forth. So it can take a time to get to doing it every day or even twice a day, but start off slow and you shouldn't have any problems. The retinol, actually, in people who have, for instance, rosacea, also sensitive skins, I think it's fine. The people who have eczema, those are the ones that retinol can sometimes be a little bit more irritating to, and that I would do very small amounts, very slowly, just to see, just so you don't have a flare-up of eczema. But otherwise, you should be okay with that.
And that's eczema on your face. For example, I get eczema on my fingers.
No, it's more winter. So some people get it on their bodies, but never on their face. But if you're somebody who is prone to getting, a lot of people get it around their eyes, around their nose, the mouth, then I wouldn't. Or if you're suffering from like a dermatitis, which is an inflammation of the skin on the face, then obviously I'd stay away from all those actives until you've cleared up like the skin condition first. But no, otherwise it's good.
And I have to say one more thing that I love about your products is the packaging.
You know what? That was
it's the pink packaging.
Sure, because Koiberg was pink the first time, and I remember walking in and I was like, oh my God, this is my heaven. This is like my house.
That's what I love, and it's so feminine and beautiful and elegant.
Thank you.
And so what are you thinking in terms of reopening, when you're going to reopen your clinic, or when you're going to be comfortable going back, or how is it in the UK in terms of...
So I'm not going to open until they give me the okay to open. The government says it's okay to open. I have been tested. I actually had COVID-19 and I did not have any symptoms. I was one of those silent carriers. My whole family has had it. And, I feel fortunate almost that I had it, so I can't give it to anybody and no one can really give it to me. So I feel whenever the doors open or the government
safe to go to you.
I think I would feel safe. Obviously, we have a lot of precautions that we will need to take in our clinic itself to make sure that there's adequate space and time to clean, and to make sure that anybody coming into the office is protected just by coming in. I think that's going to be the hardest part of all of this for every store, business, industry is the social spacing that's going to be needed, especially in a place like London where space is like, not as a luxury. It's not, not everybody has tons of space to be able to wait. But I think what we'll implement is more people will get a text message. They'll have to wait in their car or outside, and then when they get the text message, they can come into the clinic. I think that's what we're looking down towards to see, and making sure that, we have good cleaning systems. So I can't wait. I really miss it. I've tried to take COVID as like this quarantine as like a nice reboot and to reassess and to spend time with the family, but I'm missing people and, that little buzz.
And clients and the buzz, yeah. Yeah, and are you planning on trying to go away this summer to try
I would love to, but who knows what the world's going to do. I'm not going anywhere if all the restaurants and beaches are closed, so I'm not quite sure. We haven't decided yet. We may even just come to the States to visit family. What about you? Are you going to be able to go away?
Yeah, we're not sure either. As as things are changing, we just have no idea. Honestly, we'd like to just like you said, but just no idea what we'll be able to do. Are the borders going to stay closed? Are you going to be able to travel within Europe? And even if you are able to travel within Europe, we go to Italy a lot, but we wouldn't probably feel comfortable doing that maybe right now. And so really just trying to figure out where the world's going, and
I don't think anybody knows. That's the sad part.
Yeah,
we just have to wait it out a little bit longer.
Yeah, but I know that everyone is so keen to leave their house and get out and
get
go
to work. And
actually,
I want everybody to see your little caftan that you're wearing right now. Someone asked if it's vintage. It's not. It's actually on Coibird. I did try it on. Is this the short one or the long one?
It's the long one. And Morphew asked if it was vintage. And Morphew, we actually have their beautiful pieces in Coibird as well. And they're a vintage store in New York that do special collaborations with us. And they're really amazing just to find really rare vintage from. But yeah, no, this is that was Bridget probably. Bridget, this is not vintage. This is Loretta Caponi that we did with them for Coibird, and it's got these little bows.
Super cute.
It's just an easy,
super cute. It's gorgeous.
Thank you, and thank you for so being such a good ambassador and loving all our stuff. You look so amazing in all of it, and I just love seeing women that are bold, that love fashion, that love to experiment, that love to kind of, as I said, communicate through their clothes. And it's just such a nice, it's that first impression. Like I said, when I walked into your clinic, I was like, this girl knows where it's at.
Well, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. They're
so
kicking
much.
me off now
really
because
nice.
it says there's like a timer that comes up on my screen that says that it's going to disconnect us. But we didn't have any glitches. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your time in Florida, and I hope to see you soon on the other side.
Thanks, Maryam. You too. Speak soon.
Bye.